Hello, and we are live for week two of the Skinny Jean Gardener Show live. What's going on? You can phone in on tonight's show on 07423574520. 74520. New setup, so expect technical difficulties, and we're talking one of the worst things in the wildlife planet: slugs. Facilia. Or Pacilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, elephant poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, alright?
You got to get composted, Lee.
Yeah, just getting this. Slugs, mugs. What do they call it? Slugs, mugs, and anyway, get me a cup of tea. By the way, guys, tonight, welcome to the show. If you've not joined us before, welcome to the show. The phone lines are open. Crikey. It's been a weekend, isn't it? The Skinny Jean Gardener Show. You can phone in, get involved. I'll also put, hey guys, I'll also put a link up. So if you really want to come on the show, you can come on the show if you want to come on the show. There is the link. It's in the comments. If you miss it, you might blink. Cup of tea. I'm not sure if it will technically work tonight, mainly because I've got a new little setup, and and that's right. Actually, that's true. I should be wearing my mask. Only 6 people tonight allowed to be watching, due to government guidelines. I think that's the new rule, isn't it? That's the new rule. Let's see who's about. Hey, bud, I won't be here for long. Richard Suggett. Don't be like that, Rich. Don't be like that. Stuart says, evening. Grow your own kitchen garden. Conversion shed. Good evening. Hope you're good. Evening, says Mark Simmons. Hello. And without a doubt, Sean's here. Hello, Sean. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Today we talk slugs. That's it. Slugs, bugs, and mugs. Now, needed that. You may see one of the most annoying bugs tonight, which I didn't expect to be part of the show. Somehow a fly has got into the studio and will not. You might be able to hear him at some point, or see him. He's just going to go nuts around the lights for the whole 2 hours. So that'll be fun. That's something nice, isn't it? We were meant to have a guest tonight. Captain Satsuma. First guest of the show, of this brand new show. Was supposed to be on tonight. Unfortunately, he can't be on. We're going to get him on a few weeks' time. Unfortunately, due to other things going on, he can't make it. So it's just me and you tonight, guys. Just me, you, the fly, and a bit of good old garden chat. I want to talk about slugs at some point. If anyone knows about, hey guys, do you know about slugs? About slugs, we're going to talk about that later. But I want to see what you actually got up to over the weekend. Last week's show. Thanks, by the way. Thanks to everyone that supported this new show. It's really kind of you. Give it a share if you fancy it. Give it a share. Share it to your mum. Share it to your fans if you fancy. It'd be great to have some peeps about, including you guys, obviously. If you want to listen to the best bits, and there are best bits, let me tell you, there are best bits, then you need to listen to the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. That's not even the logo anymore, as you may have seen on my Twitter. But go listen to the Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. There's a fly flying around for anyone that's just joined us. Hey, Nicola. How you doing? Evening, Tom. What's up? We're talking about slugs. Anyway, I want to find out what you've been up to. The weekend, I had a right busy one over the weekend. But not mainly. I'll tell you something, right? I'll tell you one thing that's been going on a lot in the garden. There's been a lot of growth. Oh, I'm going to catch that fly. There's been a lot of growth in the garden. I only cut the lawn the other week, didn't I? It's grown a lot already. I need to send Vince my lawnmower out. Go and sort it. But those pumpkins, right, have been growing like crazy. I don't know if I mentioned it last week or the week before, but I thought they weren't going to grow into anything. They were like that big. Like honestly, what's that? Like 5p, just under a week or so ago. All right, I'm going to catch this fly, guys. Just under a week ago, like 5p. Now we're looking at what would you like a baseball size in a week. In a week, so I feel like we're going to get some fruits. Or I thought honestly we'd get nothing from it, but I think we're going to get something. Been a lot of growth, and I tell you another thing I want to talk about tonight: slugs. I'm going to catch that fly. Bugs and the sun as well, because I feel like we're going to have a hot week. A hot week. I missed him. I'm going to get him. Wait, just wait there. This is not what I expected from the show, but just wait on. We'll get on the show in a minute. And I cannot sit for 2 hours. It's somewhere in this. Somewhere in the studio. I knew I shouldn't have left the door. I thought it was going to be hot tonight. It's not really that hot out, is it? Hold on. Oh, it's... Get it! Oh, I just touched him! Damn it. Hang on, we'll get on with the show. Oh, come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh, he knows now. He knows now. This is, oh, my God. Right, this is not what I expected to... Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so close. Standing like everyone, no one expected. No one expected. Oh, hang on. No one expected this to start, especially not me. Right, let's get on with the show. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, a lot of growth in the garden is what I was trying to say. A lot of growth. I've just seen a massive spider up there and all. So I've been harvesting some stuff. I had a lovely little harvest. I don't know why I said that like a farmer. I had a lovely little harvest of me old tomatoes, peppers. Like if you saw them on Richard's show the other day. Lovely little harvest. To see who's about in the comments. You can call in anytime you want, guys. Nope. Tiny little fly. That one get away with it. Right. Anyway, Mark, that literally sums up the show tonight, doesn't it? It's the face of evening, boys. Evening, Tom. Hello, Yvonne. How you doing? Little picture there. Me, Yvonne, and Adam Frost. Besties from Chelsea. Ian says, hello, sunshine. Hello. What's happening? What happens if you wee on a slug? That is, I don't, Mark, I don't know what happens if you wee on a slug. Is it a joke? I don't know anyone that's used wee to get rid of slugs. Want to become famous? Yeah. Buy followers, primes, and views on bigfollowers.com. Let's do it. I was off to Cornwall. I'm not going to get this flat. Oh, I swear to you now. It's going to be an ongoing thing, isn't it? Sorry, I decided to change my name back in. Needed to be shorter. Grow your own kitchen garden. Stop changing your name. Stop changing your name over. You need a Venus flytrap in that shed. You're right. Oh, yeah, big old Venus flytrap. I can't believe this fly's got stuck in it. I'm going to open the door, see if he flies out. He's not going to, is he? What a start to the show. I had every intention of this being one of the best shows we've done. Hang on. Wait, hang on a sec. Door's open for you. Hopefully. Right, door's open. Go out the door. Go out the door. I'm talking to a fly. What is happening? Need a Venus flytrap. My cousin got a Venus flytrap the other day. Actually, I said, don't keep putting your fingers in it. Venus flytrap, because that wastes all its energy. And if you're going to buy a Venus flytrap, get the ones not great for the environment. I'll be honest with you, but the ones with the plastic cover over them in the shops, because that stops the people putting their fingers in them. They waste all their energy and then they die. They get them home and they die. Might have pumpkins by Halloween, although we won't be able to go trick or treating. I know, big news in the trick or treat. I am incredibly upset. Incredibly upset about that. Won't be able to go trick or treating because they're COVIDs. Makes sense. One year for Halloween, I had loads and loads of gardening kits left over and did a bag of tools, right? A bag of tools and seeds as a trick or treat gift. Not just sweets, a whole bag. We got rid of about 50 of them. They're an old project. And I promise you this, every child that got one of them bags walked off disappointed. What's this, mate? Just give me a bag of Haribo. Good evening, Ruth. How are you? What's going on? Should I watch you or the Vogue show? Oh, yeah, Vogue's on. Oh, that's one of the things I wanted to do, is we ain't got a guest, Ian, right? Ian, can you copy and paste the invite? I'm going to put it in the link for you, right? And send it to Vobesy and see if he will call in. See if it works. Don't even remember, I met you guys at Seed Sunday in Brighton. I did manage to get my small holding in Cornwall. We chatted about it. So setting up 1/4 of an acre veg garden. Oh, you need to send me a photo. I'm not very good at name. Nicola, if you know watch any of my content, you are a terrible memory. Bet Richard remembers though. Terrible memory. Not only have I had a fly now I've got to try and use my brain. Visually, I need to connect the dots on that one. Wasn't there a 1 hour episode of Breaking Bad like this? There actually was, wasn't there? I should have just done it for an hour. That would have made a brilliant best of episode, wouldn't it? He's gone though. He's gone now, guys. He's out here. 13 minutes in. I think we've lost him. But during the break, I'm going to close that door in case a fox comes in. Don't forget the sanitizer. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Can't say that word. Now I want a brew. I said I was going to have a kettle in here, didn't I? I ain't got one. I ain't got a kettle. Put up the link to video in. I've put the link up, Ian. Come on. Could tonight be the night that Ian manages to call him? Suggett's tried calling him, but again, my phone's blocked him for some reason. Here we go. Mr. Richard Suggett.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I am very well, man. How are you?
Yeah. I'm frustrated because I've got to go off to work again.
Oh, mate. I hate those work days.
Oh, I've been at work all day as well, and they still want more for me.
Oh, honestly.
I know.
And I thought I had
Bring
problems
back
with
lockdown.
flies.
Yeah, bring back lockdown. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that.
Hashtag.
That's asking for trouble, isn't it?
It is a little bit, mate.
Yeah, yeah. The lady on YouTube who's got her place in Cornwall,
Yes.
who we met at CD Sunday.
Yeah.
Right, I do remember her. I think it's the one I'm thinking of anyway. She was a volunteer, if I remember right.
Now I
when we were
remember.
chatting to her in the street store.
Remember
Yeah,
now.
you got it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I always need them little, you know me, Rich. Need those little pushes to picture myself in the situation, and then I remember the conversation. And that rhymes.
Yes, yeah. I think she was on about getting a gypsy caravan or something, if I remember right.
That's it. Setting up a 1/4 veg garden now.
That's it. Excellent.
Wowza.
Excellent. That's great to hear.
Brave, mate. Brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
But cool. Very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We'll have to see pictures of it.
Yeah, we need to see some photos. Yeah, send us some photos in.
Yeah.
For sure. How are you anyway? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Yourself?
Apart from this annoying fly and like running around and hoping that the technology works and my guests cancel on me, fantastic.
Well, yeah, that's show business, though, isn't it?
That's show business. Hey man, I've got something for you. I'm not. I was going to text you, but I might as well tell you now while we're on here.
Okay.
On the 30th of September. Do you know what day it is?
No idea.
That's right. It's International Podcast Day.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Oh,
And so I was thinking about, and we're live on International Podcast Day, I was thinking that maybe we could get as many UK gardening podcasters on the stream at once
yeah.
talking gardening.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, the first one, to be on it.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it's not the 20th. I always forget when these days keep coming until it's actually on the day.
What's the 20th?
20th is next Sunday. It's my wedding anniversary, so I'm.
That's the kiddie.
Yeah, I've got to spend a day with my wife. I'm doing a live on that day, though. So
not with her on the live.
well, she might come on the live. I might have a word with her and see if she will.
That's romance.
Yeah, I know.
What more could anyone ask for?
Exactly.
Did you oh, Alex just said on the group, International Podcast Day, another 24-hour marathon.
Oh,
Too soon, mate. Too soon.
Too soon. We're saving it for next year.
Yeah, we'll do it big next year. Bigger, better.
Bigger, better.
48 hours.
We have to stream it on 2 different channels.
That's it. We'll be all over the place.
Be all over the place. Yeah.
Literally. Actually, I've got a good idea for that, but I'll tell you off air about that.
Yeah, fine. You mentioned you were busy over the weekend. Did you get up into much gardening?
No. I'll be honest with you, no.
Well.
I plan to do a little bit, but at the moment, I've got like, you know, when everything's sort of growing, and I always like show off to you and say I never got any I've never really got much weeding to do.
Yeah.
So I've spent a lot of time just sitting and enjoying it. So like just sitting in where my growing area is and just having cups of tea. It's not real. I know this is not gardening, but I think it is important to enjoy the space and all.
Well, I think that's actually something that we often overlook in gardening, because the whole point of being a gardener or building a garden is to enjoy it.
Yeah. And also, like, I've got like I did have like a 10-year plan, but now it's sort of progressed onto like a 20-year plan for my garden. And and then it will just progress on to another 10 years. Like it's just constant. There's always going to be something to do. And I think sometimes I can get into a bit of a habit of just like hammering out the garden, looking for that finish line. And it doesn't come.
Yeah. I think garden has to always evolve.
Yeah.
And change, you know. I know certainly with your garden, it's changed a lot in the time that I've known you. You rebuilt the shed, you moved your entire allotment, you've gone onto these trug areas in your patio area. And I think that's great because it gives something different to look at each time.
I'm quite indecisive. Really, I should have put everything on wheels and then I could just move everything around.
That's a bit predictable then. You're planning for it to be moved.
Yeah, that's true. That's making too much of an easy job.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, man, no, not massively. What about you, dude? I know the allotment never stops. Like, since I've got rid of my allotment, and just started growing in raised beds, it has reduced the amount of jobs that I've had to do. But I know an actual allotment, there's always something to do.
Oh, the biggest problem I have with my allotment is the couch grass. And I'm constantly trying to get on top of it. And I'm just writing up some bits tonight about how couch grass seems to, if I put seeds in the ground, something like onion seeds, they just smother it out so the seeds don't have a chance. And I'm a no digger, so I tend not to dig out the roots, but I pull them out when I can.
Yeah.
And half of the allotment that I started with about 5 years ago, I am starting to beat the couch grass in the beds that have been built and established. So it does work. It just takes a long time. The other half of the allotment, which I probably got 2-3 years ago now, and I decided was going to be one big bed, which I'm getting rid of. I'm going into smaller beds over this winter.
Yeah.
It's not worked so much on there because I haven't been able to fill up the bed with enough manure and compost to really make a dent in it.
Right, got ya. So what's going to happen?
Well, I'm going on to smaller beds.
Just make it easier for you.
Then I make it easier. I don't have to move so much compost and manure around or get hold of it to fill up the beds. It gives me slightly less growing space, but I think it's going to be better as well because there's always going to be areas that you need to walk on, especially on the hard clay that I've got.
I hate couch grass, mate. I hate it.
Oh, me too.
It's like the worst.
Me too.
It's the worst thing. And bindweed.
And I don't mind bindweed so much because I find that easy to pull up and find it quite satisfying. And actually, I quite like the flowers on it as well.
It's a bit, yeah. I mean, sometimes. Well, when I first come across bindweed, I thought, "Oh my god, I've grown something amazing here."
Yeah, you've got to keep on top of it.
Yeah,
but it's easy to come out. Whereas couch grass, it's if I was sent to hell, it'll be the couch grass that is my punishment in there.
Just constant couch grass.
Constant couch grass. Yeah. I can clear it out 1 week and be back for next week.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I think I've talked about this before on the show, but when I got my first allotment and rotivated all the couch grass in, so don't do that, guys.
No. I think somebody spoke about that on the, what was it called, the Allotment podcast?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Oh, it's a cereal.
Rich, I'm going to cut you off, and I'll tell you why I'm going to cut you off, because something massive has just happened.
Okay.
Like something really exciting. And if you come off, I won't tell you what it is, but if you come off the screen now, if you come off the phone and go back onto the stream, you might see someone that it's been quite a while we've been trying to get him on.
Okay, cool.
See what happens.
Okay,
He's
cool.
got a very interesting t-shirt on. Right, speak to you soon.
See you in a bit.
Bye, mate. Bye.
T-shirt was free.
Well, you want to be. It's an interesting t-shirt, mate.
Trump 2020.
Well,
That's what I say.
I actually don't know. I actually don't know.
Make America great again.
Well, you're not in America, Ian.
No. Neither was a T-shirt. It was made in China and posted from China.
Brilliant. There's some irony amongst that.
Just a little bit, yeah.
We've got you on, mate, finally.
Yeah, but I can only do it on my phone. The iPads don't work.
Well, it doesn't matter, mate. Anyway, we got you.
No,
It's
got
only a
there.
week. I've not been very helpful either to you to do it. So, anyway, mate, how are you? What's been going on?
Not a lot. Cut the lawn, basically.
What's that again?
Twice. I've cut the lawn twice.
Yeah. Well,
It was so much grass on that lawn. I just cut it on the highest setting and then let the sun dry it out a bit. It's been sun shining in Manchester. Makes a change.
that is amazing. I hope you took a photo.
Oh, I didn't. No, never thought. I was too busy cutting the lawn. But yeah, I did it twice. It's now nice and short. Fingers crossed the last time this year.
I remember when I first cut my lawn and it was wet. Like the first time I ever was trusted to cut a lawn, and it absolutely hacked it to pieces. I should have listened to them.
Yeah, I did try doing it on a low setting, and there's so many lumps and hollers in my lawn. No, couldn't push it through, so I had to lift it up, cut it, gave it an hour because the sun was on it, and then thought I'll try again.
What's
And
your
it did
lawn?
work.
What's your lawn look like, Ian? Is it like a proper, like pristine, like bit of bowling green, or has it got all sorts of shit?
No, lumps, hollers, where the dog's been and turned it yellow, and yeah.
That's a real lawn. That's what they should have on the
Yes.
advert.
Sorry, I missed that one, Lee.
I said that's what they should have on the adverts. I told Flymo about that. I said you should get a real lawn on there. Get your lawn on there, Ian. Get them on the TV.
Do I get a free lawnmower?
Sure, I'll ask them. What happened about your tomatoes? Did they turn red in the end?
I've had quite a few red ones, and I've had more with blight dropping off the leaves and whatever. Not happy about that, but I think that might be because I put them too close together.
Oh, really? How close did you have them?
I've had kind of a 18-inch tray and put two in.
Oh, okay. No.
I think that's too much.
18
I'll do things differently. Well, I'll be doing less tomatoes next year and more peas.
More peas. You'd love a
Because
pea.
the grandkids want to come up this weekend and see if there's any peas left. I said, no, there's not.
What else did your... They're all peed out, mate. What else do your grandkids like picking in your garden?
Pass. They've only ever come up to nick the peas.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you gonna grow next year? It might be a bit different.
Well, give me some clues.
Bean. I don't know. Oh, I think I like bean. I'm never, to be honest with you, Olive doesn't really like peas, but she loves beans. Big fan.
Right. Well, we did do beans, but we got two.
Oh, well, that's not good.
That was it. That's all we got this year.
Do you do pumpkins this year, mate?
No.
I feel like I've talked a lot about pumpkins recently, but I just think anything with like big impact.
Maybe. I mean, they'd love it, I'm sure, because I can do it for Halloween, of course. But
that's the link. That's the good thing that happens when you link up to like an occasion. They sort of know the end goal, like the end point.
yeah. Well, like I say, the peas, when they pick them, they don't get back to the house with them. They've eaten them before they get back to the door.
Your granddad.
So, if they love that. That's what I'm going to do next year.
Wow, yeah, just loads and loads, like a farm of peas.
Where I've done tomatoes and lettuce down the bottom, I'm just going to put stakes in, whatever, string across so I can get in there and grow more peas.
Ian, what got you into like growing stuff? Was it for the grandkids or?
Boredom, I think.
Yeah.
I had the greenhouse. I've not done anything with it for over. Can I digress and go back to when the kids were born? My kids, not the grandkids.
Yeah, go on.
I was a heavy smoker and decided I was not going to smoke in the house once we got kids. So I bought a greenhouse, basically just to go out somewhere as a shelter to smoke in.
Yeah.
And then started growing bits and pieces, a few tomatoes, a few peppers and what have you. Courgettes, I think, was one of the first things I did. Then it got left. The kids grew up, left home. The greenhouse was left there. The ivy crawled all over it. And then grandkids came up while we were away and ripped all the rubbish away.
Oh, wow.
All the ivy and everything else. So the greenhouse was open again. I thought, I should use this. So I did. Started messing about with different bits and pieces.
So it's all because they started ripping it out and
Yeah, I would just left it to the elements and forgotten about it.
yeah.
But because
wow.
they turned around and helped clean it up. Yeah.
That's an unusual story. You're the first person I think I've ever spoke to whose grandkids has got them into growing stuff, other than the other way around.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not bad enough.
No,
They help.
Yeah.
I was at a low point after the throat cancer. I'd decided, no, I've had enough. I'm not going to do anything. And they came in 2 days. Well, we were away in the motorhome for a couple of nights, and they'd been up, did all this. When we got back, the garden was hell of a lot better than it was when we left. And I thought, yeah, a new start. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, man.
Along with meeting Richard, because we met him somewhere, I don't know where it was, some pub down south. On one of the Vobes walking group things.
Are you a Vobesy supporter?
I've known Vobes for about 10 years.
Oh wow, he's the godfather of this sort of thing.
Oh, he got me into watching all these things. I will be honest. I don't. To be honest, I don't know how I found him. We were just messing about. We were having lunch in the shop. Found Vobes, and that was it. I think for a while we were the only people that spoke to him at lunchtime.
No.
So he soon dropped his lunchtime podcasts and just started in the evenings.
Yeah. Well, there you go, mate. There you go. You got much planned this week, Ian?
Not a lot now. Once I've done the lawns, I'm going to the cash and carry and looking for a new strimmer. But I don't want a cord one. I want a metal blade one.
Oh, you want a metal blade one?
Yeah.
I see, obviously. Some Flymo, I'd say a Flymo one, but it depends how big your garden is as well.
Do they do one?
They do a really good. It's hanging up at the moment. They do a really good battery powered one, but it depends how big your garden is, though, Ian.
It's not huge.
Oh, well, this sort of thing's wicked, but I would say that because I'm their ambassador. I'll let you make your mind up.
I would guess it's roughly the size of yours.
No, well, hang on, here it is. Wait there, hang on.
Lang.
Oh, this is part of it. Here you go. This is part of it. So basically, there's a battery thing that goes into the back here, and then it's like, and then you just fly around the garden with it. You can see the state of mine. I don't really tidy mine much, but it's pretty decent. It does mine all right. It flies around mine in no time. And I like the battery side of it. I used to have a cord one. I'll never go back.
No, I was thinking that. I've got a. I don't know what it is, but it ain't that good. It's a one stringy bit underneath, which is plastic, which ain't any good for the environment because it snaps every 2 seconds.
Flies off. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
This is why I say I want a metal one that'll last a bit longer.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Well, let me know what you find, mate.
Well, I went cash and carry on Thursday, so
Let me know what they've got.
we're gonna have a look and see what I can get.
That's it, mate. That's it. Ian, thank you finally for being able to call in, mate.
Yeah, now I can do it. I'll be on every night.
I hear you every night. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Wear a different
See you later, mate.
different t-shirt.
Oh yeah. Need a clean one tomorrow.
See you later, dude.
This one's full of grass cuttings. See you later,
mate. Thank you, Ian. There, welcome. Him finally has managed to call in. If you don't already know, on YouTube I put clips up of the show. So if you come on the show, you'll go onto YouTube. I think I might name that one. Trump supporter does gardening. I think that'll probably get the views in. I think that'll probably get the Trump supporter grows peas. That seems like a good title for that one. Right, let's have an ad break and then I'll go through your comments after that. Hey, what's going on? This stream and the podcast is sponsored by Flymo. Flymo, your life easy. My nan absolutely loves Flymo, and she was the one that first introduced me to Flymo, the brand Flymo, way back when I first got my new home, because she used Flymo in her garden. Then she bought my mum and dad a Flymo when they got their garden. And then, when I got my garden, my nan bought me a Flymo. It's been in the family for years. Absolutely love it. They're such a great product. They're quality, they're affordable, and they think about how to make it easy for you to go cut the lawn, cut those edges, and do those gardening tasks. So, flymo.com if you want to get your hands on some of their products. Plus, spend over £45 and you, yes you, dear listener, can get free delivery. Oh! Go check it out now, flymo.com. The Skinny Jean Gardener, How to Get Kids Gardening book. It's available right now. That's right, in all good... Well, I'm on Amazon mainly, to be honest with you. On amazon.co.uk or .com, wherever you're in the world. Amazon. How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now. It's a $9.99. Oh yes, my self-published work, $9.99. Let's have a little flick to see what you could be doing. You could be making this wildflower seed balls. My favourite garden to make. A little bit messy for the kids, but brings some incredible colour to the garden. There's over 30 gardener makes inside this book that you can do with the family to get outside and enjoy whatever space you've got. Amazon.co.uk. How to Get Kids Gardening. Would you like to sponsor and support this stream? Yes, you. Actually, not you, but you. Yes, you. Have you got a product or service you'd like to advertise? Then this is the space for you. You get yours truly to advertise your product in a very, very unique way. Thanks very much. Plus, get it put in front of literally tens and tens of people. There's at least 12 people watching right now. Probably more. Probably. If you want to get your product or service in front of them, then this is the place to be. Free advert, a show, plus we'll talk about it a little bit after each advert, no doubt. That's free, that's 4 times a week, that's 12 times. Guys, 12 times. If you want to get involved, if you want to support the show, it's not as expensive as you think, guys. It's not expensive as you think. Lee at skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. Right, during that ad break, someone called in and I missed the call because I was just quickly run to the toilet during the ad break. So if you want to call back in, then please do, ladies and gents. Please do. Please, hey, please call back in. Please call back in. Right, let's have a look through the comments during today's show. Let's see what everyone is chatting about. You can call in any point you want. 07423 574520 if you want to call in, guys. You can also click this link in the comments and you can be zapped into the stream. Right. Oh, the stream's back on now. It cancelled just as you called. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Do you want to talk slugs?
Yeah, let's talk slugs. What are you saying?
Well, I mean, if you want a technical definition of what a slug is, it's a snail without a shell.
Yeah, but it's not the same, is it?
It is the same. Yeah. Biologically, anatomically, evolutionary, it's a snail without a shell. They've just evolved slightly differently. And what a lot of people don't know is that slugs are actually, most slugs you see in your garden are harmless to your plants. There's only a very, very select few, and a lot of slugs are doing an awful lot of good in your garden, because what they're doing is they're breaking down and eating dead and decaying organic matter. Some of them are carnivorous. Some of them actually, attack other slugs that could be causing problems in your garden. So it's well worth being a bit sort of selective about how you treat them and how you look after them, and how you look after your plants, obviously, because just up the road from me, when I take my little boy out for a walk twice a day at the moment, he's just over 1, so I put him in this carrier and take him out to give the wife a bit of sanity. There's this lovely garden that is just full of hostas in pots.
Yeah.
And obviously hostas, slugs love them, absolutely love them. And the best way that this lady could help with her slugs is just to every week or so move the pots out, have a little look, see who's back there, and just move the slugs. Put them in a bucket, and maybe deposit them next door or something, or chuck them in a hedgerow, or just move them away.
Wow.
But, yeah, and no, I mean, slugs can be a problem. They definitely can be a problem. But there's a lot of people out there that quite like going out at night with a torch, and then you can actually find the slugs that are on your plants causing the damage, and you pick those ones off, stick them in a bucket, and get rid of them in one way or another.
Well, I just always assumed that all slugs were bad. Like last night, we had so many; they were everywhere.
If they're on your plants, then you've caught them in red-handed. So definitely get them off. And if it's very, very hot weather, most slugs will be nowhere near your plants, because they'll be actually living underground. And if it's been so hot and lovely this summer, they need a lot of moisture to survive. So what they'll actually do is they'll be living underground, and they will actually spin a cocoon around themselves to preserve their moisture, because they can't cope in the hot weather. So if we've got lovely hot weather, then all of a sudden you've got a couple of wet days, that's the time to be really vigilant and go out and try and find the little critters that are on your special plants. That's the time to ambush them. But they're not every slug is the enemy. That's what I'm trying to say. They're interesting creatures. They are. I know this is a family show, so I will stay clean. But that they are hermaphrodites.
Yeah, I have heard this before. Yeah, which is
they
scary.
have both male and female bits.
So they do themselves.
They do each other, but what they do is they have a little cuddle and a little squirm around, and that's how the deed is done, shall we say.
Well, thank you for explaining it so nicely.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. And if you want to control them, and if you do need to use a chemical, iron or ferric phosphate slug pellets are reasonably pretty good. There's a lot of problem with metaldehyde, which is the traditional slug killer, which the slug gets killed and then it gets eaten by something that goes up the food chain, and then it starts killing buzzards and apex predators and all that sort of thing. But the iron or ferric phosphate slug pellets, which are very commonly available, are pretty much safe. So if you have to use those, look for that ingredient, because that's
are they safe for like
environment.
Other wildlife as well?
Yes, yeah, because iron and ferric phosphate, they actually break down into iron in the soil. So anything that's not eaten by the slug just breaks down to iron. And the thing about any type of slug pellet, you've got to have decent coverage, in as much as you have to make sure that there's a barrier. So a slug has got to crawl across it so he gets hit by it to get to the plant. So it needs to be scattered well. It's more about how well you apply it. Than because if you just scatter a few bits around, there's a great big hole that the slug can get through. Then
they just dodge around it.
Can't work. Exactly. Yeah, they'll dodge around it.
Yeah.
It's slugs are, generally speaking, not that bad in the garden. You should encourage all wildlife into the garden, and in rare cases, possibly think about using a slug pellet. But they're expensive. I'd sooner spend my money on plants in my garden.
Oh yeah, just buy some more plants.
Yeah, you can do. And plant resistant varieties of plant that slugs don't like. If you've got a slug problem, what my garden looks like. I'll send you a couple of pictures. It's blinking decking, which all the slugs and snails are underneath, and then it's that awful fake grass, which I'm slowly getting rid of, but I want to do it properly, and find out how I can dispose of it safely and all that sort of thing. So my garden, there are so many places that slugs can hide. So I'm not going to grow hostas. I'm going to grow stuff which is resistant to slugs, that slugs don't like. That's a reasonably good bit of advice there, I think.
Or buy some sacrificial hostas just for them to eat.
Well, that is a brilliant idea, and that is actually used in the industry. That's called a push me pull you strategy, where you plant plants around the plant that you don't want to be attacked. If you put marigolds underneath your tomatoes, then the leaf miners will go to the marigold first, and they won't trouble your tomatoes. That's a really good idea.
Have you ever
look
used
after the plants?
For a long time? I've never used this before, but when I said to my nan about slugs eating my stuff, she said, "Oh, copper rings."
Yeah, copper's quite expensive. Copper is also relatively toxic to things. Copper sulfate sprays there are out there. They can work. It's a lot of hard work. What's probably more effective, because there are lots of different ways that you can see online of controlling slugs. If you've got a big infestation, beer traps. There's a benefit here, because you don't have to give the slugs all the beer. You can maybe have a little tipple yourself.
Sure.
But sink a couple of glasses in the ground, put some beer in, and all the sugars and the lovely beery smells, they trap them. The slugs fall in, and at least maybe they die happy.
Yeah, there's worse ways to go, I suppose.
Yeah. Quite frankly, one really good way of, if you've got a problem plant, is to put down a piece of slate, or just anything that's half a metre square or foot square, and check it regularly, because the slugs will live under there. So if they're having a nibble on your plants, they'll go to the nearest place that's moist and dark and safe. And then it's not safe, because you lift it up every couple of days, find the slugs, and then get rid of them. That's probably more effective than beer and copper and all that sort of stuff, in my opinion.
They can get through the tiniest of spaces, and I only know this because for ages and ages we had a slug problem in our kitchen.
Oh wow!
I know, right? So it's quite damp behind our sink, and I think basically they were living there, but they got through the smallest of vents to get to that space. And then every night we used to come downstairs. I used to come downstairs for a drink of water and step on a slug.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, no, it was not. Oh, they were sorted now.
Fantastic.
But,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they've got no internal organs like a skeleton that we, with invertebrates compared to, gastropodian slugs. So they can fit through anything. They are very squishy and not nice to step on in the middle of the night.
No, definitely.
We occasionally, coming outside in the night on the decking, there's the occasional squidge.
And they can get massive, Mark. They're like ridiculous size.
Well, generally speaking, the bigger the slug, the less likely it is to be a problem to you. Generally, the bigger slugs are the ones which are predators or they're detritivores, so they eat dead decaying organic matter.
Oh.
But generally speaking, the really massive slugs don't eat your plants. It's the little ones that are hard to find. They're the ones to watch out for.
Right.
But it's a big subject, and best not just to go down with the chemicals. Best to catch them in the act, and then you've got the guys that are causing the problem.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
get out
really
there
into
with
these
a torch.
chemicals. Not really into the chemical side of things. I'll do anything not to use them sort of things. I mean, on slugs. So,
Yeah.
I have known someone. I think they're on the group tonight. But someone once collected all the slugs from their allotment,
Mhm.
went to the nearest train, and put a box of slugs on the seat, and watched the train go down the tracks to get rid of them.
Oh no, that's not.
Well, it's not nice for the person that sits down on the train after a hard day's work and opens the box to find a box of slugs, is it?
Yeah. Just go and relocate them somewhere. Bit of woodland, bit of hedgerow.
Like far,
that.
like away from the garden, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pointless
yeah,
move.
away
I've
from the
moved them
garden.
from one end to their garden to the other to get rid of them. They're
Or if you
quick.
don't like your neighbours, over the hedge.
Yeah, well, there is that. There is that, Mark. Mate, as always,
No worries.
thanks for your incredible knowledge.
Oh, it's all right. Maybe someday we'll be the next Alexander Armstrong and Richard Osman.
That'll be it, mate. 100% for sure.
Okay, well, you take care.
We'll see what happens. I'll speak to that,
Cheers, mate.
dude.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Always full of knowledge, Mark is. It's called in a few times. And also offering, we're no off takers yet, no takers from our official grass podcast the other day. If you've got artificial grass, you rip it up, Mark will give you the seed to lawn it, mate. You want proper lawn? Don't want that plastic stuff? Mark will sort you out. Had no takers yet. Went on the podcast today, or was it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow that podcast goes out. So, right, let's have a look for your comments. Phone lines are open, as always. Call in, and let's see what everyone's saying. Cool, we're going quite far back into the conversation here. Name and shame the guest. Who was the guest? It was Captain Satsuma. Big guest tonight, guys. Couldn't come on tonight. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Nicola says, and campsite. Oh, yeah. And campsite. Ross says, I will have a look at doing one from the plot. That might be my next live. Ross is doing a... Wow, slow down. But here we go. Rich said, I'll be doing a Halloween special. Will you? I'll probably do a Halloween special. Think I'm the only one on YouTube. Should I come to you over to Facebook? No, just chat there, mate. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Do not worry. This is Nicola saying, took my 1935 horse dray cart, 4 meters by 2 meters, down to Cornwall on Friday. I'd love to see some pictures of what you're up to down there, Nicola. Alex says, International Podcast Day, another 24 hour. We're not going to do another 24 hour yet. Not yet. Here we go. My veg garden will need to be all raised bed due to 30% plus arsenic in the soil. Well, that's an unusual problem. Wow, that's a lot of arsenic. Would you need to put a divide and layer of plastic as well to stop it? That's true. Probably might help. It probably would help. Then we've got a few people talking about some lawnmowers and some hedge trimmers, some other brands. We're not going to talk about them, guys. What else is everyone saying? What's this? We bought a smoke machine for a couple of quid at Aldi after Halloween last year. Looking forward to trying it out this year. Everyone's talking about. Everyone's talking about Halloween in the group. I'm into bonsais. Well, we could do a bonsai. We could do a bonsai special one point. Some great stories about bonsai. Dan is here. Kitchen garden allotment. At the allotment this year, I have placed a new pond, and it is the first year I have not had to use slug pellet. It seems to be working having a pond. Probably, I always say with the slugs, I always say to get frogs, get hedgehogs into the garden. Those two things are, and that's why I asked Mark about slug pellets. I don't want hedgehogs falling ill from them. Because we've got hedgehogs in our garden. It's the best thing. Generally, although they've not been about for the last few weeks, I've not seen them actually. So I don't know what they're up to. And that's why slugs have come about. Because generally, the hedgehogs sort them out. Well, as soon as we've got hedgehogs in the garden, and when we had frogs, but we've not got frogs anymore, when we had hedgehogs in the garden, we didn't have any slugs, didn't see one of them. Feel like the hedgehogs sorted them out. So bringing hedgehogs in the garden, big tip from me. Jimmy, hello, Jimmy's garden allotment. Hello. I have used nematodes to control slugs. Works great and good for the environment. I think I've read about them, and I'm not really keen on them, Jimmy. Those are the ones that have little things that then they mess with them and take them from the. I'm not really a big fan of them, but whatever works for her, I suppose. Growing Kitchen Gun says, I would love a pond, but we're not allowed. You're not allowed a pond. Like any type of water at all. Our pond in our garden is not a pond. So in my garden, I've got a washing up bowl. If you buy, hey, what's that book? Hey guys, if you buy the Skinny Jean Gardener book, you'll see the Skinny Jean Gardener frog pond, where you can make a pond out of a washing up bowl. It's that easy, right? Put a brick inside, slate over the top, brick so the frogs can jump out, and if any hedgehogs fall in there, they won't get stuck. The slate over the top, just over half of it, is for a bit of shade from the sun. And then you just plant around it. So you don't need a massive thing. We used to have loads of frogs in the garden. For some reason, they've not moved into the new position. Don't know why. Maybe it's not covered enough. But maybe try that. Maybe try that. Let's have a look what everyone else is saying. A lot of chat going on about making your own nematodes. I've got a PDF recipe here. Ian says, bet you'll be in bed before you. I bet I will be in bed before you finish tonight. Mowing the lawn has tired him out. Here we go. Phillipstown, no dig allotment. You're new to the chat. Oh, Philip Stone. Sorry. I got it wrong. Is it Phillipstown or Philip Stone? Phil, let me know. I feel like you could be in America. Anyway, no dig allotment. We are gonna do Carl. Okay, Carltown. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Right, cool. Right, Carl. We're going to do, I don't know if it's going to be this week, maybe do it Thursday. We're going to do a no dig special because I'd love to put on the podcast a load of stuff about no dig gardening and growing your own with no dig. I want to learn more. I want to share that. So should we say Thursday? If you're about Carl on Thursday, I'd love to have you on the show and talk about that. And anyone else that does no dig garden, I'd love to talk to you about that as well. Let's do a no dig special on Thursday from 8 p.m, guys. 8 p.m. Kids Gardening. Kids Do Gardening. How you doing? Welcome. Evening. Welcome to the show. If you want to call in 07423 574 520, or, hit the link in the description. Bam, bam, bam. If you fancy calling in. Yeah, we're not allowed any water features or ponds on our allotment. Council reason a child could fall in. Health and safety car mad. A child could fall in a child could fall in a washing up bowl, I suppose, but I think you'd be all right. I don't know. Tough one, that one, isn't it? I don't know about that. I did a blog with Sean Cameron yesterday. Yes, Thursday. Wicked. Okay, cool. The other thing I've done in the garden is turned an old recycling sign down and cut a hole in it big enough for my family of hedgehogs to go in. Oh, that's good. That sounds pretty. An old recycling site down. A whole site. Do you mean sign, Dan? Do you mean sign? I'll wait in the comments. No one say anything. I'll tell you what. While Dan gets back to me and just when I don't know what you mean by old recycling site, Dan. Well, it does. Let's have advert number 2. This stream and the podcast are sponsored by Flymo. Flymo.com. I'm going to tell you a little story about Vince. Vince came into my home and basically took over not all, but the biggest gardening task, which I'll be honest with you, took a little bit of time because usually I'm away. I'm jet setting from Birmingham to Devon, all over the country, which means that when I come home, the first task I've got to do is my lawn. Now, Vince came along and we welcomed him to the family, and now I feel like he's taken over my position in this household, which is not good. Vince, I should add, is my robotic lawnmower. Oh yes, Flymo's robotic lawnmower. Literally, you set it up, there's an app on your phone, you set it up, and every day, all week, however you want to do it, Vince, or the robotic, you can call it what you want, but ours is called Vince, goes out and cuts your lawn. Oh, made so simple. Go check it out right now at flymo.com. Spend over 45 quid, you get free delivery. You can't say better than that, can ya? So yeah, go check it out, get your own Vince. Have you heard? I've got a brand new book. It's not brand new. I know that. It was out in February. But to you, it may be brand new. How to Get Kids Gardening is available right now on amazon.co.uk. Let's have a little flick to see what great gardening makes over 30 that you could be doing as a family. Maybe you could be making stone and spoon markers, because we all know that labelling up your seeds as you put them into the soil is very important. If not, you've got no idea what's popping through when the little green shoot. That could be anything, couldn't it? Make some stone markers. Really simple, really easy, and really inexpensive. All the gardener makes in here, just literally the costs hardly anything. I don't know how I can say that. Hardly anything, mate. Hardly anything. Come on around. How to Get Kids Gardening. Amazon. Come on out round. Would you like to support and sponsor this stream? Then you can. You can get your product or service in front of people like Richard from Littlehampton or Sean from London, even Lisa in Northern Ireland. Yeah, we're Mr. Worldwide. I think we've got some people from Australia as well. So if you're from Australia, this is the place to be. If you want to support or sponsor the stream, then please get in contact at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk and your advert could be at this point right now. Oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I was about to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say. Right. What were we saying? Dan never got back to me in the comments. Dan's disappeared. But anyway, hedgehogs in the garden. Best thing to get rid of slugs. They're really fantastic. Grow your own kitchen garden. It says, your reaction is the same as ours. Yeah. No, you can't have a pond. Ridiculous. What's going on there, man? What's going on? Ian says, Richard said, my toms might have blight. What should I do with them? I've been chucking them into a field next door rather than putting them in the compost. Now, well, the one thing you've done, Ian, you've done good, mate. Don't put them in the compost. It's the last thing you want to do, because eventually, obviously, we want to use that compost, a beautiful compost that you're making, and the last thing you want is to have that in the soil. One of the things you can do is burn them. Sounds extreme, doesn't it? But burn the plants to get rid of them, or just put them in the brown bin if you've got a brown wheelie. Get them away from the house. And the other thing is, probably don't plant your tomatoes in the same soil. Don't want to plant them tomatoes because you're going to get that problem over and over again. So get out there now, Ian. Start a fire. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock at night. Start a fire. Get rid of those tomato plants, mate. Get rid of them. Jimmy and Gray have their own little chat. He also says, find me a discount for my own Vince. Wow. It's funny you should say that, Ian, because I'm talking to Flymo about running a new competition on here. So, for a Vince. If you don't know what a Vince is, my robotic lawnmower. So, stay tuned, guys. In the next few weeks, you could be winning your own Vince, your own robotic lawnmower. We gave one away on the podcast in the summer, which went down really well. Now I've got to come up with another competition if they let me give away another one before the end of the year. Flatfish Tuna, great name. I can only see, by the way, your usernames. So, but I spotted an odd poo on the grass yesterday. Googling it, as you do. Google that poo. That could be a new website. Googling it was hedgehog poo. I'm chuffed. Yeah, I tell you something, they poo a lot, don't they? Before I really got into knowing about hedgehogs and knowing the importance of them in the garden, we used to have a hedgehog that made his way into our bins. In fact, we almost threw our hedgehog into the wheelie. 2 of them. So we got a bin bag that was sitting out back. Chucked some bits in it. Left it. Got to about 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to say I decided, because actually it was my wife. She decided to tie it up, go and put it in the wheelie bin. As she bent down to tie it up, it started to move. 2 hedgehogs in there. 2 hedgehogs. They were lucky. Because if I'm a brave person like me, I just tied it up big and strong and just chucked it in the wheel. Wouldn't even notice they were in there. They got away with it. Anyway, my point is, before we really knew about hedgehogs and what to feed them and stuff, we saw that they were loving cheese, and they love a bit of cheese. Hedgehogs, and they love a bit of cheese. Bit of cheese. You know about it the next day. Cheese, milk, all them sort of things. They're not good with them. Bit like me with pineapple. They're not good with them. I love pineapple. Not good with pineapple. That's that would be, people be throwing pineapples at me next year on stage, wouldn't they? So yeah, they don't like cheese, but you know about it. They make a right mess, hedgehogs, when that happens. So cheese is truly lovely. Yeah, they love it, but not great. We used hedgehog food. I got some hedgehog food that I bought. I need to get some more, actually. Maybe that's why they've not been back in the garden. They've had their fill. They're moving on. So I got an actual proper hedgehog feed recently. But they'll definitely get rid of your slugs if you've got them. Dan says, finally, Dan. Dan says, sorry, mate, an old recycling bin. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, in our garden, we've got like a little box, an upside down box, and we've covered it with loads of leaves and twigs and stuff like that. And yeah, the hedgehogs, they don't really live in there. That's the annoying thing. We put their food in there, and I've seen them walk in there. Maybe I'll put a little camera in there at some point so we can film them. But they've not lived in there yet. And to be fair, it's near a trampoline as well, so it's not the most quietest place to live. But I think they live underneath the studio. The studio's built on a bit of a raised platform. I've seen them also come down here, so I think they live under here. And that's not great at night. That's at night time when I'm leaving the studio. I have to run down the garden because I'm scared. I'm scared I might step on one. But an old recycling bin, that's perfect to do something like that. Definitely. Oh, right, I've been corrected. Grow Your Own Kitchen says, don't put blight stuff in your brown bin. That goes into council compost, and a lot of commercial compost sellers buy it from the councils. I didn't know that. I apologise. I take back that comment from earlier. All I was thinking about is myself. So I didn't think about anyone else. I thought, just get it away from the garden. Just get it away from your garden. Don't burn it. Everyone, start burning it. After fire, use the potash then on the ground. I suppose the fire will get rid of any of the bad stuff. I mean, fire, you'd think burning it would definitely get rid of it. Posh. Hang on. Posh hedgehog food. Yeah. It's only about £2, but that's that old podcast money going through. Hedgehog food, yeah. I think it's only a couple of quid. I don't think it was a lot. I think it's from one of them, like, you know, them shops that sell everything for like the cheap shops. You get furniture, you can get everything from there. Do they just roll up and that's it? Yeah, they do more, but when they feel threatened, they roll up. They roll up. I didn't know that. Flatfish tuna. Great name. I didn't know about the brown bins thing. I didn't know, but yeah, I'll tell you something on the comments tonight. I wish Grow Your Own Kitchen Garden and Jimmy would sort out this email situation that they're using the comments for. Sort it out, guys. Sort it out. So yeah. And 45 minutes of the show left. Miss Butterfly said, I don't know. I'm here for the accent. Well, now I'm thinking about the accent. Now you're making me feel I'll probably start speaking posher in a minute. I'm here for the accent. Anyone else here for the accent? Because that's fine. Not here for the garden chat. Just here for the accent. Thanks for that. You made me really think of the accent now. Got a going question 07423. I'll either go really posh or I'll just go even more Essex and slowly turn into Del Boy. All right, pound of potatoes. 07423 574520. If you want to call a Skinny Jean Gardener podcast, or you can be beamed into the conversation through the link that I've just whacked into the comments, and you can come on the stream, say hello, tell me what you've been up to in the garden, tell me if you know how to get rid of slugs. So I've had a load of slugs in the garden, especially yesterday. Although it's going to get sunny now, isn't it? We're going to have some hot weather in the next few days or weeks, maybe. Are we going to have like a heat wave now? Let's have a look. Let's have a little look-see at the weather. Christ, please, someone call in. Let's have a look. Oh, he got so bad he started looking at the weather. gonna have some hot. I'm gonna type in culture because that's where I am. So let's see what 29, 23, 19, 20. Well, that ain't that hot, is it? 29. Everyone's going crazy about one day of 29. That is the day. That is the day. That'll be the day when I definitely water the I definitely water the garden. The only normal guys in Periscope talk about sports or gardening. I know nothing about it. It's not ideal, is it? Maybe Miss Butterfly. I mean, I've got a name called Miss Butterfly. You must know nothing about butterflies. Pizza scopes are a few. What, like actual streams just on pizza? We could have a pizza night if you won't fancy it. Pizza night, anyone? See how quick the Dominoes can be, or any other brand of pizza. It's got to be Dom's in it. Let's see if we can get Domino's to sponsor a stream. Probably not. So, a gardening question. Any advice on how to get Saffron Crocus to flower, as mine have been coming up blind without flower? I haven't. Next question. I've never grown Saffron Crocus. Does anyone in the group? Hang on, we're just sorting out a pizza night in. Grow your own kitchen going. Could you just wait 2 minutes? We're just organising a beer and pizza night. It's happening soon. We'll do that Wednesday. Has anyone got an answer for Grow Your Own Kitchen who's been growing Saffron Crocus? Yeah, it hasn't turned. I don't really like Googling it. I don't really want to Google it. Saffron Crocus. I need to have a look at the photo of it. For anyone that doesn't, me who can't actually picture it. Oh yeah, they've been coming up blind. You got any advice, guys? You want to see a photo? You've probably seen a lot of these about, actually. Here we go. That's plenty of photo in it. Is that taking a photo? I don't know what it's doing. By the way, guys. Oh, hang on. Wait a second, everyone.
Hello.
Dan, hello, mate. While I was, I was just Googling Saffron Crocus, mate, while you were calling. I didn't see you pop up.
Sorry about that. I'm having real trouble with the internet, as you probably know, with the last stream we had when I last popped on the camera. But hopefully it's going to be fine now. I did say about the hedgehogs, and I have made a video for the winter series coming out on my channel. Basically, I got years ago. It was an old 100-litre recycling bin they give you in my area, and what I've done is I've cut it. I've cut a small hole out of it, and obviously where it's dark and it's moist in this time of the year in the UK, the slugs love it. The snails and slugs go in there, and obviously the hedgehogs use it as a hotel.
It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, mate.
Yeah, that's it. They really enjoy it, and it's a great idea for encouraging wildlife to your allotment and also to your gardens.
Do you get a lot of hedgehogs at allotments?
Yeah, I've got quite a few on the wildlife cameras down at the allotment. I have spotted quite a few hedgehogs, and this year I've even got a camera of the badger. What's down there? Recording of a badger.
I'm 32. I've never seen a badger.
Nor have I. I've only seen them at the side of the road, unfortunately, but I've seen the first time I've seen a live one at the allotment through the wildlife cameras.
Well, you've only seen it through the camera. They make right old mess badgers, don't they?
Apparently so. I don't actually know much about it. When I see it on the camera, I thought, is that a cat walking across? But it wasn't. It was a badger. So
Oh, mate. What other wildlife? I tell you what, Dan. Someone said in the group, right, that that they're not allowed a pond in their allotment.
yeah, when I had my old allotment, one of my old allotments, they did. It was exactly the same rule. They put it down to health and safety. Kids can fall in, but my point is, you can walk at the allotment on a windy day and have either a pane of glass blow off a greenhouse and eat, or a bit of plastic or something like that, isn't it? It's one of those. It's one that there's more dangerous things at the allotment than having a pond, I think.
I think so. I think they're good. I mean, my pond is not really a pond. It's like it's just a washing up bowl. So I class it as a pond, but it's not really a pond.
Anything to encourage wildlife into the garden is good, isn't it? It's good for everyone, I think.
You ever had any issues? Have you had issues with slugs? I'm guessing not, considering you've made a slug buffet in a wheelie bin.
I did last year. I had quite a big problem, and I was using a lot of slug pellet, unfortunately, in beer traps. But it still wasn't making. It wasn't controlling the slugs. But I did a lot of research into it, and this is the best way. What I've found is by putting a pond in the allotment.
Right, got ya. Because they fall in, or because there's frogs?
Pardon?
Because they fall in, or because there's frogs?
They can. If you leave a big enough ramp for the wildlife to get out, everything's absolutely fine. And the pond I've got is probably about 3 foot by 2.5 foot, and it's no deeper than, I would say, about 2 foot. So it couldn't do any damage to anyone, and the wildlife, if anything fell in it, it could easily get out.
Yeah, makes sense then. It makes sense. Dan, you've got a daughter, and I didn't realise this the other day.
Yeah.
Do you get her involved in gardening a lot?
All the time. This year I've actually given her a part of my allotment, and she's grown potatoes, sweet corn, tomatoes, and she's starting to get to that age now where she wanted to be on YouTube, and there is a few videos up of her doing work on the allotment as well.
Future
So it's
YouTube.
very
How old is she?
She's 7.
Oh, wowza. What works best? What sort of things work best to get her down there? Obviously, given her own space works well.
It does. See, the very first problem I had is on my allotment, literally no more than about 20 feet away, you can see a park. And when it was a few years back, the only thing she was interested in is going into the bloody park. But now she's actually taking notice of the allotment, and she loves things like sweet corn and stuff like that. And it's learning even more. It's learning even more when she goes to school. The other day, she had a lesson about growing vegetables, and apparently she gave me the lesson.
Oh, well, that's handy. All the knowledge already up there. That's what I'm hoping my daughter's going to do. When they start talking about that sort of thing, I hope she's just going to come out of loads of facts and show that she's actually been listening to her dad.
I think if you don't force the kid into it, if you encourage them, I think that they pick it up a lot more. I picked it up from my granddad years ago, and I've continued it, and obviously hopefully my daughter continues it, because my wife comes from the Philippines, and out in the Philippines, growing food is the main source of it. So she's kind of, a lot of her family rears in a farm and stuff like that. So it's very, very important to my family to make sure that my daughter knows where food comes from and how much different stuff is.
Does she do a lot of gardening at school?
As they've just gone back now, they're doing 2 days PE, one day gardening, and then the rest of the days in the classroom.
I was like trying to get outside as much as possible.
Yeah, trying to get away from this, so they're not in this by this virus, this horrible virus what's going around.
I've heard of it.
I've bloody worked by it for the last 6 months, so it's been pretty hard.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. Dan, as always, thanks for calling in, dude. It's been good chatting to you. You got anything else you've been up to recently? I can't remember last time we last talked last Wednesday, was it?
Yeah, but there is a video coming out in 2 weeks' time of my brand new Flymo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've brought it.
What did you get?
The Flymo, it was the 650 pound one.
What, the robotic?
The robotic, yeah.
Mate, you will not regret. You've literally instantly changed your life. Right
if there's any problems.
yeah. Bye, I gotta go. Right, let's know how you get on. I've looked forward to seeing the video as well, mate.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. I'll see you later.
Nice one, dude. Thanks for calling in.
And you, bye.
There we go, everybody. There we go. I must clip that up to show Flyman that the people were buying them. It literally has changed his life, guys, by buying a Flymo. It's changed his life. Here we go. Hello, caller. Have you also brought a Flymo recently?
No, I haven't. But I do grow saffron.
Oh, good. I'm actually an actual proper gardener. Right.
Actual proper gardener.
Turn up blind, mate. Turn up blind.
Turning up blind, right? For saffron, you want the biggest bulbs. They tend to produce the flowers. The smaller bulbs don't. So what I tend to do during the summer when they're dormant, I go through my pots of saffron and weed out all the small ones and keep the bigger ones, and that generally gives me flowers. Now, to encourage during the growing season, I had a load of grow more, fish blood and blow, just to feed the plants and hopefully bulk up those bulbs so that next year they can produce the flowers again.
What do you call it? Fish, one what?
Fish blood and bone.
Do you know, it always sounds disgusting. Anyone that doesn't garden will be like, what is going on?
It stinks as well, I've got to say. If you open that box, it stinks.
Might be a bit of a stupid question, but I'll cover it because I'm from Essex. Is it actually fish, not tuna fish, fish, blood and bone?
I believe so, yeah. It's all the remnants of the fishing and the bone industry and the blood that's all been dried and it's all ground up into a powder, as I understand it, but I could be wrong. I've never visited a place that actually manufactures it. So I'm going by what I've read on the internet. We all know the internet always says the truth.
Sure. Sure. Okay, so give them a bit of space and give them a feed.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's probably a bit too early for them to start flowering yet. Mine haven't even popped up. They generally start to show themselves when it starts to rain. The saffron crocus, that is. I did see some autumn flowering crocuses the other day, but they're not generally the saffron crocuses.
Right.
So if the person who has saffron crocus is absolutely adamant they are saffron crocus, it depends where they are in the country. They may have had a load of rain, but I generally find mine start towards the end of this month into October and not really harvesting any saffron until November.
So we're looking at patience, yeah.
Patience, yeah. Be patient. Get a bit, like I say, a bit of grow more blood fishing bait just to feed them, and that probably will help them.
Nice one, dude.
No worries.
Thanks for calling in. Thanks for calling in again.
No worries. Well, I knew the answer to this one, so I pulled over just to answer it.
Nice one, dude. Thanks, mate.
Bye, dude. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go, everyone. I hope that answers your question for you. Oh, just have a little patience. Have a little patience. I wish I knew the words to that. This stream and this podcast is sponsored by Flymo, home of the hover. I made that one up myself, but that should be their tagline. Home of the hover glide. That's my impression of a Flymo hover. Glides across the ground, so easy, so simple. I love Flymos because they make cutting your lawn and caring for your garden so easy. Plus, they've got, and I'm just looking around the corner here, an easy glide I've got here. I've got a hover vac, both are brilliant for different sized gardens. Plus, they've got a new easy store, so you don't even have to plug it in. You put a battery in it and you drive about cutting your lawn. No wires. How easy is that? If you want to find out more and see what I'm talking about, then check out flymo.com right now. This stream is also sponsored by How to Get Kids Gardening, my book, Lee Connolly's book, a top 10 gardening book of 2020. Not my words, but the words of the Independent. Also, in this book, Lee has brought together my passion of nature and wildlife, along with my love of grow your own. Not my words, the words of Jimmy Doherty, of Jamie Oliver's mate. But let's have a little flick through, see what you could do at home as a family. Maybe you could create this, a bird feeder. That's right, you can create a bird feeder just from a plastic bottle. So really simple, really cheap, really easy, a great activity to do with the kids to get outside whatever space you've got. How to Get Kids Gardening, available on Amazon for just a tenner. Woo! Could your product or service be in this part of the show, the advertising part here? If the answer is yes, I think you were thinking about it, weren't you? If the answer is yes, then get in contact at lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. We can talk about saying hello, how you doing? Do you want this? Do you want this pen? Do you? Probably not. It's a digital world now, isn't it? But do you want to buy this pen? Then you can at Pens Are Us. That is just one example of the many advertising talents that I've got. So if you do fancy it on the stream, come support us, come sponsor us. lee@skinnyjeangardener.co.uk. Last half hour of the show, guys. It's been a good one. Thanks so much everyone that's called in so far. If you fancy it, if you fancy it, then 07423 574 520 on the phone, or there's a link somewhere in the comments if you fancy it. If you want the link, then let me know. But you can also be beamed like Ian was earlier on, beamed into the conversation. Anyone wanting to know what Saffron Crocus? We were just about the show. I think we were just about to show him before Dan popped in. Here's a little picture for you. There we go. No, get rid of that. There we go. That's what you should be. That's what you're looking at. So you've got any of that going on. But just have a bit of patience, guys. Just have a bit of patience. It'll be on its way. For sure. Yeah, mine aren't up this year, but for the last 3 years they've been blind. Little bit of feed with fish, blood and bone. Oh, horrible. I know, flatfish tuna. Getting worried. Growing your own food is so magical for young ones. Invaluable fun. We've got some great chats coming up about that over the next few weeks. So we've got some good interviews coming up with people getting young people into gardening. What's everyone else saying on the group? Here on YouTube, excellent, thank you. I'll dig them out next summer and give them a real good mulch and some of that feed. Yeah, you know, only the last year or so I've been really really thinking a lot more about feed and like soil. For instance, this year a few of my raised beds have not really been producing maybe quite as quickly as I really wanted them to, and that's because I've not changed the compost in it for literally about 3 years, and the actual soil is really important. So so need to change up that compost, make sure we feed our plants, keep them going, give them something to write home about. Sure. So there we go. 25 minutes left of the show. International Podcast Days come up on the 30th. If you've got a favourite podcaster, not just me, then let me know in the comments. Because we're going to try and get them all up on this screen if we can. Sugger, tick. We sorted him. We'll get Sugger. Perry and Alan, we'll get them. We'll get them up for sure. Who else? I'm trying to think of other podcasters. If you want to listen to the best of podcast, or if Miss Butterfly wants more of me just chatting, then the Skinny Jean Gala podcast is the place to head for that. If you want me the best of this podcast about pizza. Oh, I tell you what, I must write down. I always say I need a notebook. For you, we'll do a pizza spesh. In I'm sure I can wiggle a podcast out. I mean, I've done a potato spesh once for an hour, so we can definitely do a pizza one. A potato spesh. No, we're not doing that. Pizza Podcasters Pizza is coming up. We'll do it next week. Just for you. Sure, I can listen to you for hours. Great. Well, there's about 1,000 hours. About 1,000 hours on Spotify if you want to listen to that. Available right now. 07423 574 520. Tell me what you're up to. If you're out in the garden. If you're not, what have you got planned for the sunshine? Just finished putting 52 bags of compost. 52 bags of compost on my no-dig beds. That's a lot of compost, isn't it? That is 52 bags. It's got to be about 500 quid's worth of compost, isn't it? But I suppose if you're doing no dig special coming up, guys, on Thursday, just plucked it out of the air. And by the way, tomorrow we're doing a deal or no deal special. Just dropping that in. Tune in tomorrow and find out what that's about. Deal or no? Oh, 126 quid. Is that it? I thought it would be a lot more with delivery. Where are you getting 52 bags of compost for 126 quid? That's pretty decent. I can't do the math. As no one's called in, might as well do the math. 100. Why do they teach mathematics at school anymore? And you got a phone. Makes no sense. 100. Why do they teach anything? Just Google it. 126 divided by 52 is £2.42 a bag. £2.42. How big are the bags? £2.42 with delivery. No dig allotment. That's why I cannot do no dig. Too rich for me with Yorkshire blood. I mean, I know what you're saying, but that's cheap, isn't it? For compost. Anyway, I 100% 2021 need new compost. I was going to do it this year, but Here we go. £2.26 a bag of compost.
It's actually 4 bags for £10, but because my allotment is part of the garden centre, we got an account with them.
Right.
We basically get free delivery. So, but it does work out what you just said. So we had it for 126 quid for 52 bags, a whole pallet of compost, 50-litre bags, organic, recycled waste compost. It is, but it's brilliant stuff. I've been using it for a long time.
Wowza, mate. I don't want to test you too much because we'll wait for the no dig spec. What is it, Carl? Right?
Yeah.
Carl, I won't test you too much. Were you on Sean's show last night?
Yes.
That's what I know.
I was down on the plot last night, so he's seen, and I'll probably do that Thursday. I'll probably go down on the plot and do it from the plot so that you can see what's going on and what I got going on there. Like,
wicked. Oh, you had the long beds, right?
Yes.
Now I remember. That's it, right? Yeah, I want to see them, man, because I think I really want to get into a bit of this no dig, and I know there's been a lot of talk about it. How many years you been doing it for?
So I've been doing it for, this will be my fourth year. This will be my 4th year coming up now. I've had an allotment for about 25 years. And I've turned it and I've dug it and all sorts. But the last couple of years, I did a online course with Charles Dowding. So that's what threw me really. That was where I thought, I'm the only one on the allotment doing the no dig initially, and now I got about 50% of them doing it because they can see the results. It's just incredible. Mate, we'll talk more about that on Thursday, mate.
Well, have you got any, before you go, Carl, have you got any tips about slugs? I don't know if you get any issues with slugs where you are.
To be honest, right, because I do a lot of, I pick the leaves with lettuce and things like that, and I maintain the beds quite well. So the way to avoid slugs is to keep your plants healthy as possible. So if you've got leaves that are falling off your plants, that they're gone a bit discoloured, remove them, because the slugs will attack them and you won't get many slugs then. So that's the key, is to keep maintaining your plants. As long as your plants are healthy, you'll avoid the slugs. That's the only advice I can give, and that's what works for me.
That's good, mate. That is good. Do you get any hedgehogs in your garden, mate?
I don't have any. And you just mentioned about the pond. Oh boy,
yeah.
I'd love to have a little sort of wildlife pond in the corner. I got a perfect place for it. But again, like one of the other guys were saying just now, they're not allowed to have it because we're not allowed to have it because of health and safety. We can't even have a bucket of water stored there.
Never heard of this before. So that's crazy.
Because on Sean's channel, he's had a couple of ponds and things like that, which I'd love to have something like that. You know what I mean? Just a little wildlife sort of area, like, I can do a bit of filming and it just adds to the channel then, but I can't do nothing like that. So sadly.
Yeah. Well, mate, look, I look forward to Thursday and chatting to you more, all right?
Good. Look forward to it. Yeah, take care, mate.
Nice one, Carl.
Yeah,
thanks for calling in. Carl just calling in there. Carl is a younger Terry Walton. Wow. I won't say your name, but where's the female? It's very. I was talking to someone the other day. It's very male heavy. On the show. We've got some female guests coming up. This is not a men's only club. All right. It's none of that. Oh, there we go. There's Shane coming up on Wednesday. We'll be talking to Jane from Allotment Cooks. Does he do poetry too? You reckon Carl does poetry? Hello, Jane. How you doing? Looking forward to our chat on Wednesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I've got to fly through some comments. What time are we on? 15 minutes left of the show. If you want to call in, Terry's always doing poetry. Does Terry do? Oh, he does actually. Terry does a lot of poetry on Twitter, doesn't he? This is like, does he like daily poetry, garden and poetry? He should. Has he brought a book out? He should bring a book. I know he's definitely brought a garden book out. He should bring a garden and poetry book out. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Right, let's go through some of the questions. Miss Butterfly says, gardening while coronavirus. We could do that as a subject. We could. If you really want that, it could come up. We'll do a pizza one first. That's a much better idea. That's Welsh prices for you for that compost. That is a deal, isn't it? Get excited about compost. That is cheap, bud. I also use alpaca manure for my yearly feeding. Alpaca manure is it's pretty decent actually. I've tried it before. Not as good as elephant manure. We had that last week we had on the show. We cover all sorts here. Cover all. Not as great as elephant, but I have used alpaca as well before. In fact, fun fact, guys. For a while, we absolute money spinner. We used to sell Skinny Jean Gardner alpaca poo in the Skinny Jean Gardner shop. It just kept selling out. We could not package enough. It was the only thing that really sold in the shop. So I mean, we should have probably just got rid of all the tools and stuff and seeds and just literally had a shop with alpaca poo. Hello, Muddy Boots. How you doing? London's calling. Hello. Oh, this is a bit weird.
Muddy Boots, how you doing? London's calling.
I knew it was you because I know your cup. Weirdly, I know cup. That's
Don't
bizarre.
stress me out.
Don't stress me. Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. I'm not a cat lover, so I'm not a big fan of it.
So I was interested in the slugs bit.
Oh yeah, I wonder when you were going to chirp in for slugs.
So I thought I'll wait until you've clipped it up and put it online later. But that was quite a good bit about slugs, though.
Yeah, we've had a lot of chat about slugs, mate. And
the only thing with using the beer is it doesn't half stink, so you need to change it quite often.
Yeah, I mean, not so much of a problem, is it?
No, but it does really, really stink.
It's a pot. Well, what after they've been in it?
So they fall in it and then they die,
and that's when it stinks.
And then if you don't change it the next day, the whole allotment site will be able to smell it.
Yeah, I don't really like that option to get rid of slugs. I'm not a big fan of that one.
Well, somebody told me on the weekend that they've been making cider, so they had all the pulp left, so they decided to put it in their compost bin. So they threw it in the compost bin, and he said a couple of hours later he looked in there and it was full of slugs. When he went back the next day, all the slugs were dead. So we've assumed they might have been eating the apples and just died from that because of the cider.
I thought they drown in beer, though.
Yes, but maybe they ate so many of them that the same thing happened. But it was just rather strange how they were just all dead the next day.
It's a bit odd, isn't it? It is a bit odd.
What are your tips to get hedgehogs in the garden? Because the last time I saw a hedgehog was like June the 23rd, 1994.
You said this the other day. I couldn't believe it.
I filmed it. That. What I did was I saw it in the garden and decided to bring it in, give it some cat food. It had the cat food, and then it saw a tiny gap by the side of the kitchen unit and decided to go in there.
Oh.
So by 6 o'clock the next morning, I had pulled out all the worktops, trying to get this hedgehog to go back outside.
Oh no!
I haven't seen one since. They're too scared to come close.
It really surprises me you don't see, because you live near an allotment. I thought there'd be loads in the allotment.
Well, I live next door to a park, but the one thing I've seen more of since being in London is bats. The amount of bats we saw this summer, just flying around the oak tree that we've got.
Yeah, ridiculous amount of bats in our garden. I never noticed before. And I don't know if that's because I've not really been outside in that time of night, or I don't know. But we got loads of more around here. But hedgehogs wise, like I got more hedgehogs in my garden as soon as I put hedgehog food down. But also this highway that I've made. You know, everyone talks about hedgehog highways.
Yeah.
And I'd bite the bullet and actually ask my neighbour. I sort of blamed my daughter, Olive, and said, it was for like a project, but it was for me. And put a hedgehog highway in, cut a hole in the fence, and they use it.
I wonder if it's got something to do with the fact that so many people now are putting artificial grass in the garden, so they haven't got anything to eat.
Maybe. But we've got no, I don't think anyone along here's got artificial grass.
So are you going to go down the whole street?
Well, I'd like to, but I don't know. I don't want to be that guy with the taxi in his back garden that is the crazy one that gets the whole street creating a highway. But it'd be cool, wouldn't it? It's a nice idea.
A bit like that street in London, I think it is, where one person managed to get the whole street to grow food in their front garden.
Did they? Well, maybe I'll try that this autumn. Maybe I'll try and get all of the or maybe I'll do it for them. And I don't know.
There you are. I just thought I'd film your TV so you can get some more viewers.
Finally on TV. Great. Thanks, mate. Well, anyway, Hedgehog Highway, that's the way, mate. That's literally the way.
I'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, mate. As always. Speak later. Again, Sean calling in. Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for calling in. Right, let's have a quick look through. So we've got 9 minutes left. You can call in 07423574520, or you can zap yourself in just like Sean did. Let's have a look at a few more. I tell you what. One thing has bothered me, and I'll put it in here. One of the on Twitch. Great name. I was Mr. 6613. Where's the females? And I was talking the other day about the amount. Not that I think we've got a cool little crew here that keeps the chat going for 2 hours every Monday to Thursday. But it'd be cool to get a few more females on the stream. It doesn't seem to happen. Maybe it's not a massively female stream thing. I don't know. But anyway. It's a little comment that I just thought, yeah, you're right. Right. Let's see what everyone's been saying. What's this? I've nipped over and subbed Carl. Oh, okay. Everyone go and sub Carl. On what is this thing called? Phillipstown. There we go. Phillipstown no dig allotment. So that was a quick flash up, wasn't it? There you go. But we'll speak to Carl on Thursday for our no dig special. Pizza special next week, guys. Remember that. Jane says, I'd love that price for compost. Me too. The amount of compost I'd have would be ridiculous. Can you drop the link to call in again? I'll put my face. Seems as I've been a pain all night. Oh, okay, cool. Right, we've got 6 minutes left. Let's make that happen. There's a link. The Grow Your Own Kitchen Garden. The weirdest place I've ever bought compost from is Argos. Didn't even know they sold it. Mulch helps. As soon as I had a layer of mulch around my plot next to hedges, I finally got some. Oh, for hedgehogs, I think that might be for Jane. Jane says perfect price for no dig garden. Hedgehogs, yeah, okay, I got in there, Jane. Mulch. If you mulch the plants, the hedgehogs come along. I suppose maybe because the slugs go underneath the mulch, maybe, do you reckon? So they can have a little dig, a few insects, a little bit of food under there. Do you reckon? Anyone? Do you reckon? Here we go. Right, here we go. Grow your own kitchen garden. Hello, mate.
Howdy, how are you?
Right, can I ask? This is the worst way to ask someone. What's your name?
Russ.
Russ. Oh, Russ, I saw your name come up earlier.
Yes, I've been trying to pimp your views. I've been in your Facebook and on your YouTube and everything. I've been sharing it all over the place.
Thanks, mate. That's good of you.
We're all part of the community, eh?
Yeah, man. Well, welcome anyway, dude. How are you? You good?
Yeah, not so bad. It's knocking on a bit now, though, isn't it? I don't know how you do these for 2 hours.
I don't, but we're on our second week. We got some good guests lined up over the next few weeks, which is cool. So there'll be some good chats coming up, and you know, if anyone's got any questions, the idea of it is like, you know, I don't know everything, but there's such a great community on here. So people that might not know one thing, there'll definitely be someone. So I'm sort of try and bring everyone together.
Yeah, it's a very noble cause.
Yeah, sure. I'll do my bit for charity. I call it charity work.
I just want to say thank you to the fellow that called in about the saffron earlier.
Oh yeah, Richard. Yeah.
Very helpful, very helpful. So as I did say, mine have been in for sort of 2 or 3 years, and yeah, they've always come up blind. So I just wondered if it was something I'd done wrong. So I'll dig them up next year anyway.
Yeah,
and what was it about hedgehog? Oh, that was it. You and Sean were discussing about hedgehog highways.
Yeah.
I actually saw a post the other day of somebody saying it was an aerial photograph of, you know, like of the new build estates and things like that. And they put these 6-foot fences all the way through the back garden, and it's just like a load of prison cells to the hedgehogs.
Yeah.
I think the hedgehog highway is definitely something that should be promoted.
I've seen some new house builds actually put hedgehog highways in, but very rarely does that happen.
Yeah.
But you are right. Like, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before about people like building their little castle, their garden as their castle, and to stop anyone getting in, but also stops wildlife getting in as well. So I think we probably saw a lot more hedgehogs beforehand when they didn't have to go out onto the road to get into the gardens.
Yeah. Just sort of the message needs to get out that without the insects and the creepy crawlies and the wildlife, there'd be no us.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true, man. It's a really difficult one because we like gardening, we sort of know. So we sort of talk to people that know that. It's really difficult. Like some of my mates, not really that bothered about it. So it's sort of trying to talk to them and try and get them to think about it. But it's not really something they want to chat about down the pub.
They just sort of glaze over, don't they?
Yeah, they're like, whatever.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh dear us. Do you get many slugs, Russ, in your garden?
No.
But
I was nodding and smiling when Sean was saying about beer traps stinking. I do get slugs in my garden at home. I don't get them so much on the allotment, but I do at home. On the allotment, I think the chickens take care of most of that.
Right, yeah.
But at home, I have a big problem because I grow chilies in pots.
Right.
And like I said, when Sean was saying about slug traps, beer traps stinking is not wrong. Is not wrong. You have to keep changing them. And just a bit of selfless, shameful promotion. I actually have a video about how to make beer traps from a 2-litre pot bottle.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right. Well, mate, tomorrow night we might review that on the show if we run out of people talking.
It's not my greatest piece of work, but you know, during the middle of the Rona and we're trying to get content out,
course. Grow your own kitchen garden. I'll be checking out. I'll be subscribing, mate. And
cheers, man.
Thanks
Cheers.
for calling.
It helps. I remember Hedgehog crisps. I think I remember. Sorry, I just noticed what Sean's saying.
Hedgehog crisps?
Yeah, I think I remember a joke flavour that they did. I think it was a Red Nose Day flavour that Walker's did. I think.
Sounds normal. Russ, thanks for calling in, dude.
No problem. Just thought I'd put a face to the name that's been a pain in your ass all night.
It's always helpful. Thank you, mate.
Speak to you later.
Bye-bye. And there you go, everybody. Russ, thanks so much for calling in. Hedgehog crisps. Hedgehog crisps. There was hedgehog crisps. They tasted beefy, says Jane. Lovely. What a way to end the show. Oh dear. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks so much for the calls. We had a few calls in tonight, haven't we? We've had a few calls. We've had a few missed calls. I've just noticed on the phone. And a few people zapping themselves in, putting faces to names. That's what it's about. Bringing people together. Because we're all in this. Not enough singing, probably. Is there? One complaint about us on the podcast because of the best of. Not enough singing. So we'd probably just do a whole show of that. Maybe. I don't know. Right. Thanks so much for watching, as always. The best of is on the podcast. Go check it out, Skinny Jean Gardener podcast. If you want to listen to that, there's also on the YouTube channel, there is some videos, some clips from this show. And yeah, there we go, Jimmy. Thanks, mate. Thank you for the live stream. Nice job. We're here every Monday to Thursday, 2 hours. Tomorrow, we're playing a garden version of Deal No Deal. Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. I shall speak to you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Facilia. Or Pacilia, if you just read it off there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on.
Oh, I can't hear you, Anon. I've done something wrong with the thing. Anyway, elephant poo is what I got.
Good evening, Lee. How are you?
Great, mate. Your signal is always terrible, but I'm good, my friend. Excuse me. You got an allotment? When I go, don't put artificial grass on top of me, all right?
Are you going to get composted, Lee?
Yeah,